All right, big night for Georgia Holiday. Nottoway Valley starts the season with a win over Shenandoah. Georgia, a very interesting game, but you guys are able to start the year 1-0. Just how exciting is that?
Very exciting.
What was this game like? Obviously, it's the first game of the season. Maybe a little rust or some jitters?
It was very nerve-wracking at first, but once we got in it and we were all playing together, then it came together and we all played as a team.
You got the start in the circle tonight, and if there were nerves or jitters, at least early on it didn't show. You guys were able to retire the side early. Did you kind of settle in after that a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I got used to it, and I found a strike zone, so I knew where to pitch.
Yeah, talk about your night pitching. I think 10 strikeouts. You were really kind of able to keep their offense calm throughout the night. What was it that was working?
My fastball inside was very good. They just didn't have quick enough hands as much, and my team was there to back me up.
Where do you feel you've maybe grown pitching wise? Last year you saw a lot of time as an 8th grader, now as a freshman another year. Where do you feel the improvements have been?
I feel really comfortable now, and I don't feel like as many nerves, and I feel like I've got more comfortable with my coaches, so they know my pitches and how I do and how I get in situations that are very nerve-wracking to me.
Without giving away too much, what was it that was working tonight?
Fastball inside.
Is that something that's kind of something you like to do, or what's kind of the mindset behind that?
I don't really know. It's just one of my main pitches, and I just throw it in there and hit the corner like every time, pretty much. Obviously,
a stellar night in the circle for you, but kind of the turning point was the grand slam there in the 5th. Just take us through that moment. What'd you see?
It felt really good to me. I mean, it felt great off the bat, and I scored many runs, and it felt great.
When it left the bat, at least from my vantage point, it sounded and looked gone. Did you have the same confidence?
Yeah, I felt it through my hand. I had a very top, strong hand on that.
What's that feeling like, too, when you realize that not only have you hit a home run to give your team the lead, but a bases clearing grand slam and kind of a high leverage point of the game?
It feels very great to me, and I'm just glad that my team was there to back me up on it.
Great showing for your night, offensively and defensively. Long season. Where do you go from here trying to get better?
Mindset. Just keep going and always believe in myself.
All right, Coach. Kind of a wild one, but you guys start the season with the win. I'm sure you always got to be happy when you can do that, right?
Yeah, it's super awesome. The girls, I think, were a little bit nervous. We haven't had many practices where we've been together, so I think we've had a little bit of miscommunication, cues here and there. And so it's just good to come out and get a win, especially, against a bigger school. That's always good, too. So.
Kind of looked like it was going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game early. I think it was 1-1 after 2, 3-1 after 5, and then kind of got crazy. What was it with the bats that woke up for you guys?
I think both pitchers on both teams did an excellent job of keeping those batters, for that first time through the lineup, kind of keeping them on their toes and not really the batters kind of struggling a little bit. We saw that she was throwing a little bit of an upspin, so it was rising a little bit, so we had our girls move up in the box. We did a little bit of short game. We have a lot of speed, and so we kind of used that to our advantage, bunted a few times, and we are really good at making adjustments as we get like second, third, fourth time through the lineup, and I think our girls did an excellent job of listening to us and throwing their top hands and throwing the knob at the ball. So they did an excellent job of making adjustments.
Big night from Georgia Holiday, both in the circle and at the plate. Obviously, the grand slam ended up being the decision maker. What can you say about what she was able to do not only tonight, but maybe what you kind of expect her to do this season?
Georgia put in a lot of time in the offseason. She's one of our players who plays all year round, and she's been working for this. Last year she struggled a little bit as an 8th grader, but she learned a lot, and she has grown a ton. And, we look to see her be effective in the circle, and we hope that Whitney Lamb can also be effective there. And Georgia has a great bat in the lineup, and I look to see her be a very, strong leader for us.
Going to the 7th, it was a 1-run game. You guys were able to score 5 runs with 2 outs. What did that do confidence-wise going into the bottom of the 7th to know you guys had a little bit of a cushion?
Coach Martin and I, we always talk about we can never have enough runs. We think back to a game last year against Bedford. We were winning by 5 runs, and a girl comes up and hits a grand slam, and we lost by 1 run or whatever it was. And so we always talk about keeping that gas pedal on and not stopping until they get us out. And so it was nice to go into that last inning. You know, Georgia had found her groove that 5th, 6th inning, and so it was nice to have a big cushion and, you know, confidence in Georgia and confidence in our team that they were going to have her back.
Quick turnaround, Stanton tomorrow night. How challenging is that maybe kind of early in the season when you've got kids that are still recovering from spring sports and, like you said, not being able to have a lot of practices together?
You know, I think that's the great thing about softball is, you know, if you don't have a good night, the next night we're playing again and you get to prove yourself that very next night. And I think, you know, we have a lot of games this week. We have a lot of games next week, you know, until you know, state softball comes around. So I think learning from each game and using each game to grow, I think, is going to really help us.